Hello, guys. Welcome to today's episode. Welcome to Adulting, but not really. I forgot to say that. It's okay. So, I have been gone for a little bit. I have a good excuse, I promise. I actually had a couple episodes filmed and edited, and they kind of crashed and burned. And I was in the middle of trips, in the middle of them crashing and burning. And either I didn't have my computer with me, or I had my computer with me, but they just crashed and burned, so I really could not do anything about it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hectic. I'm gonna take the first 5 minutes, do a little recap of everything, just so it makes sense of what's been happening, and then I'll go into the actual topic of today's episode. So a lot has happened. I've had a lot of people visit me. I've had a lot of friends from back home, Miami, that are either studying in another state, or they're studying back home in Miami, and they had spring break, so they came over to visit me. And so my friend Fran from Miami, she goes to FIU, she came to visit me. And then my friend Mariana, she goes to UM, and my friend Diego goes to Duke University in, I think it's North Carolina, might be South. One of those. He also came to visit me, and we went to Paris together. And then I just came back from 4 days in Belgium. I went to Antwerp and Brussels for my friend's birthday. Brent, he's from there, and we stayed at his house. He had a huge party with his family and friends. We had to even dress up for it, which was really fun. I haven't worn a long dress in a long time. And then we also went to Brussels to spend the day, and it was just a lot. It was so fun, but it was constantly nonstop. And when my friends were here, because they came on different weekends, on different weeks actually, they stayed, each one of them stayed week and a half. It was so long. I either had schoolwork or I was on spring break, but because we were constantly doing stuff, I swear to God, I barely spent any time at home. And when I was at home, it was after walking 30,000 steps, and I generally could not function. I barely read that week. I barely went running, because I got a running injury. If my parents are listening to this, yes, I got a running injury, but it's fine now. I've been doing some strength exercises on my leg, and I actually paid for a 4-day gym pass, so I stopped going running for a week, and I just walked everywhere with my friends. That was my form of exercise. It was 30,000, 25,000 steps a day, so I feel that's more than enough for a good workout, because that was daily. So that felt good, to be honest, to take a rest from running. And my leg, I went running today for the first time after Belgium, and it feels great. It didn't cramp, it didn't hurt at any point. And now what I'm doing is I'm stretching. See, I wasn't stretching before running. It was kind of stupid. I'm stretching now before and after my runs, and I'm also doing strength exercises after my runs. So that's been working really well for me. So I'm really glad I'm changing my ways. Yeah, that's some form of self-care I've been doing lately. And yeah, I got really drunk off of vanilla shots. I don't know what the name of them are, but apparently in the Netherlands and in Belgium, it's really common to have this flavored shots. I don't know what they're called, but they were apple. I was gonna say manzana, which is literally apple in Spanish. There's apple, vanilla, chocolate, grape, I think. I don't know. There were so many flavors, and the vanilla one, in my defense, did not taste like alcohol. It just tasted like you were drinking a vanilla milkshake. And let's think this through, okay? Lucia is a sweet tooth person. Lucia wants to have something sweet. Lucia's gonna go. The cake was not out yet. Lucia had not had anything sweet in 5 hours. Lucia wanted something sweet. Lucia tried the vanilla and the chocolate shot, and she thought, I don't taste the alcohol, so it's not here. So that means I can have it as a treat. So I kept going up to my friend Brent, and I was like, Brent, let's take a vanilla shot, Man was, in his defense, it was his birthday, and he was just having fun, and he ate a lot before, so he was fine the entire night. But I knocked out at 2 a.m. which is so sad, because that was the one day that I was gonna let myself stay up till sunrise. I mentally prepared myself for it, because I'm the type of person that at 3 a.m. I'm clocking out. We'll be at the club, and I'll clock out. I'll go in the Uber by myself if I have to. I love my sleep. Like 3 a.m. is when that's so rare for a Spaniard. Like if you talk to a Spaniard, we all go clubbing until like 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. It's very Spanish of us. I'm the opposite. I'm like, no, I'm clocking out. So tonight, it was like that night was the only night that I told myself that I was gonna literally stay up to like 7, 8 a.m. Because we literally, the next day, it was in the itinerary Brent sent us, it literally said hangover day. So I was like, perfect. So one day I'm gonna let myself sleep in without having anxiety over waking up late. Because I have anxiety if I wake up past 10:30 a.m. I have anxiety that I like was not productive. It's kind of a bad but good habit. It depends on the way you look at it. It gives me a lot of anxiety if I don't wake up by 10:30 a.m. So I wake up at like 8 a.m. every day for no reason, because I have class at 4 p.m. Anyways, back to the point. And yeah, no, yeah, so I knocked out by 3 a.m. Apparently I missed a lot, but not at the same time, because everybody got so drunk that nobody really remembers what they did past like 4 a.m. So it's fine. But yeah, it's the second time in my life I've gotten that drunk, and you know, good for a story, good for memories, but never again. Now I know that vanilla shots do have alcohol in them. So yeah, there's half the videos in my camera roll I don't remember taking. Like there's like a full video of me having a sandwich that Mia made me, and I'm like, Mia, I love Mia. Mia's my mom. Mia is my mom. I love Mia. It's literally like a minute and a half of me telling Mia and videoing myself. So thank God I didn't send that to anyone. It was just on my saved camera roll, and I was like, Mia, I love you. Like, you're my mom. Like, I love you so much. At least I was sweet while I'm drunk. At least I'm like a nice person while I'm drunk. Now I know. See, now, anyways, back to the whole point. So, back to the whole point of the podcast. So I had a really fun, like, 2 weeks. And that was crazy. And that was insane. And I'm actually going to Barcelona in like 3 days. I have a long weekend. And I think that'll be chill. I'm only going out one night because Agnes wants to take me out with her friends, so I'm really excited about that. But I think it'll be chill, honestly. I think it'll just be walking around the city with Agnes, chilling in her terrace, reading a book, taking in the sun. Yeah, I don't think it'll be hectic. I think it'll be like a nice, relaxing, good weather weekend. Just one night of going out, but I generally don't think I'm going to drink that night. I shouldn't be drinking that night. I think I'm done with alcohol for a little bit. Anyways, back to the point. So the whole point of the podcast. So today I want to go into how I got my self-confidence. And when I mean like confidence, I mean about not only like my physical confidence, but I think more like my mental and my personality confidence. Because I used to be a person that was really self-conscious about my own personality, which is so interesting. And it all comes down to going through, honestly, I recommend everybody to go to therapy. Even if you don't feel like you have any problems and you're really happy with life and everything, I generally recommend everybody to go to therapy. I go to therapy and I don't feel like I have any problems right now. Like, I fully feel like I've healed from any trauma that I've encountered in my past few months, or in the year that I don't know, in a year. I've overcome everything. I feel so happy. I feel so pleased with myself. I feel so at peace. I feel so like relaxed. I feel so content with, I like had a little brain moment there. I feel so content with my friends, with my life, with what I'm putting effort into, with how I'm going about during my days, how I communicate with people. I just feel very, very at peace, and it's good, and that's amazing. But it wasn't always like this, and even now, like, I still go to therapy once a month just to have a little catch up, you know. Like, I sit down with my therapist and he goes like, what's up? And I'm like, well, this is what's been going on. These are the things that are exciting in my life. These are the things that like maybe made me feel bad a couple of days. These are the things that might worry me, and these are the things that I generally enjoy, and these are ways that I want to become better for next month. And we go through all of those, and boom, you don't really need to be going through something to go to therapy. But anyways, that's just my recommendation in life. So anyways, yeah, so through therapy, through a lot of therapy, especially last year, therapy was like my savior last year, because I was not doing well. I think I talked about how I had depressive symptoms last year, freshman year of college, and also I was in a really toxic abusive relationship. So therapy really helped me handle that entire situation. And I think through that I built a lot of self-confidence. And even my therapist told me when she first met when we had our first and last no wait I got a little moment there, when we had our last session, because I switched therapists just because I was like two-timing to therapist, but they both knew it, don't worry. I wasn't two-timing them without them knowing. Anyways, I was two-timing to therapist, and obviously like when I felt that I was mentally okay and that I was just going to keep up therapy just for catching up maybe little moments in life moments, I decided to drop my school's one, like my uni one, because my uni gives me free therapy, and then I have a therapist that I do online that's in Canarias, and he's once a month, and then the other one was like once a week, and I decided to drop the once a week one because it's like I don't really need this anymore. I feel completely healed. And even she told me, like, I kind of got fired from therapy. She was like, honestly, Lucia, like, if you want me, I'll be here, but I don't see, like, there's nothing for us to really like uncover anymore. And I was like, you're so right. Anyways, so she told me, she was like, I can tell that at the beginning of our sessions a year ago, you were defending people that were doing you wrong because you really wanted them in your life, because you didn't see your own self-worth. And now I can see you really putting your foot, was that even English? Your foot in front, and like really putting boundaries with people. And I don't know, it felt really good to hear it. To have somebody that has seen you at your worst, that you've cried over and over again to, telling you like, I'm so proud of you, that felt good, I'm not gonna lie. And I think also a moment that I realized that like, yes, I've gotten to that point of like, I am so confident with myself, was that, and Natalia, I know you're listening to this, I know she's gonna love this, but when my ex and I broke up, one of the things he told me, he was like, I don't know, he was like, pick me. Anyways, one of the things he told me, he was like, you deserve to be loved to the core, but I can't give you that. And I had no reaction to that. And in my brain, like, obviously when you're breaking up with somebody that you're, especially your first love, you're like, no, but I want it to be you. I didn't say it, but in my brain I was like, but why can't you do that? Like, I don't understand. I didn't say anything. Anyways, breakup kept on going on. Anyways, so fast forward a few months after the breakup, I was talking to now boyfriend, but they were going through like a little break thing, Eric. I was talking to him, and he had already heard me rant about everything that I went through with my ex, about all the abusive things, about all the lying, and about like all the things that I went through in my life, and also with my friends and like past toxic friendships. He had heard everything, because I have been friends with this man before they even started like dating. Like, this man has heard like my entire life story, like romantically, and he was going through something like with his romantic life. And he was like telling me what he was going through, and I was kind of giving him advice. And then I don't remember how it got to this point, but he looked at me and he goes like, Lucia, you deserve to be so loved. Like, I'm so sorry you went through that. And I looked at him and I was like, I know that I deserve that. And at that moment, it kind of clicked in my head. I was like, it's the fact that I didn't even have to think about it twice. Like, I knew the minute that he told me that that's exactly what I deserve from friendships or a future partner. Like, I deserve to be loved so much. I deserve to be appreciated so much, because I have so much love to give, and I have so good to give to people in my life. And at that moment, I remember I went home that day and I was like, I'm so proud of myself. At that point, it's like two completely different people at two completely different points in my life told me the same thing, and it's so crazy how different I reacted to both situations. And it showed me a lot of growth that I'd made within myself. And now we're going to get to the part on how I did that, because I keep ranting about what I accomplished, but not how I accomplished it, which is like kind of like the whole point. But I guess I kind of did go through that with the whole therapy concept of it, because I will say therapy did play a huge role in my self-growth. And actually most of the habits that I did implement in my life the past year were because my therapist recommended it to me, and through little therapy homework, I guess, like, quote unquote. So, and I will say it is, and just like you have to go through romantic breakups, I really, 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 and I'm talking to like people who haven't opened their eyes yet, I really, 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 really recommend you evaluating your friendships in life. Because as a person who has had, even recently, I have had to cut one of my oldest friendships out of my life. It genuinely makes a difference. It makes such a big difference when you're friends with people who tell you positive things about yourself and want to uplift you and generally have good intentions with you, and you generally have good intentions, because it obviously goes both ways. Like, I would do anything for my friends. I would never talk bad about my friends in front of them or behind their back, because even talking bad about somebody as a joke in front of them can cost you really don't understand what somebody's going through. Even if you know them, you never really truly understand what's going on inside their brain. And something that they're probably laughing with you right now, they might go home in a couple weeks, in a couple months, or even an hour later, they'll really think about it, and then they'll either get hurt by that or they'll start being insecure about that. And because not a lot of people have that self-confidence and that self-awareness to be able to put that line down and be like, okay, the fact that they said that doesn't automatically mean that I'm like that, or that defines me. Now, I've gotten to that point, but I know a lot of people haven't gotten to that point, and you really don't know when people have gotten to that point in that self-confidence and that self-love journey. So I never really truly recommend talking bad about one of your friends as a joke, even in front of them. I just don't. There's really no point. There's no point of you making fun of someone in front of them, even as a joke, that you'll try to make them go along with. I don't see any positive thing coming out of that. So it really does radiate with the people. Like, the person that I had to cut off of my life recently, one of like my oldest friends that I've had in my life, I sadly had to cut them off because they kept making comments with me like, oh, your ego needs to be brought down, Lucia, or oh, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. But she just kept giving a lot of comments about people who've hurt me in the past and be like, oh, they had a reason to do that, or like, oh yeah, they should have done that. Like, plus, like, you really see the relationship dynamics when I would put in so much effort to take care of that person and to really help her out. So anyways, so and I said this in like 2 other podcast episodes, that you've been friends with somebody for your entire life does not mean that you have to be friends with them for the rest of your life. It was a great friendship, it ran its course. We had really good moments, but it's come to the point that now, after like 9 years of friendship, it's just not the same. I put in so much effort to help her out. I helped her get a job. It was actually a really personal job that I had worked in, and now I'm not in Miami anymore, and they needed help, and she needed a job, so I recommended her. And let's just say she just didn't appreciate the gesture, and she did something really mean to me behind my back about that. But yeah, I think, and I even told this to one of like my closest guy friends back in Miami, that he kept telling me that he was sad that he wasn't getting text messages back from his best friends, and that he felt like he didn't have anyone to hang out with. And I literally realized, I was like, don't you realize that the people that you've been texting, they only text you back when they're in a break with their partner, or when they want to go on a trip with you and your family? It's just, and then there's so many people that would literally drop and do anything for you and only want to see you thrive and at your best, and would never lie to you, would never hurt you like that. But you don't want to give them the time of day because you keep putting these other people on the pedestal because you've just known them since you were like 11. And you're like, oh, wow, they've been in my life for so long. They must be prioritized. I think sometimes you have to sit down and really evaluate your friendships, because it does affect your self-love. It does affect your self-confidence. And as a person who has reached a really good level of self-awareness, I can tell you that, yes, it hurts when I have to drop people in my life. And I don't do it often, but when I do, it hurts. It hurts a lot because I want to give them my life. They've been in my life for so long. But it comes to a point that it's dragging you down more than it's dragging you up. And keeping the friendship going is just exhausting. You know that a lot of bad things are going to come out of that. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And especially listening people talk negative about yourself, it's not really productive to your self-love and your self-confidence at all in any way. Anyways, so and then when it comes to physical, okay, so when it comes to physical love, does that make, like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Like, love with your physical body, especially as a girl. I think this goes more towards the girls, although I know guys Dios mío, mi inglés. I know guys also go through a lot of struggles with their own body issues, but I think women do get more of a harsh outlook, especially with trends coming and going all the time. I don't know if there's this video on social media of Kylie Jenner like a year ago when she had her BBL and now when she like took it out and she's skinny as a stick, because that's a new trend, like being skinny. I think it's just insane how fast things change. And I remember, I keep talking about swimming class, but that swimming class low-key was traumatizing. That swimming class back in freshman year of high school when I had to take swimming and triathlon, I remember specifically like the amount of times the girls would compare themselves, and there's this one girl that everybody would be like, oh my gosh, she has the perfect body, she has a natural ass and then a natural boobs, but then her waist is so skinny. And then now it's like people would, if I was in swimming class now with the social media trends right now, they would probably be like, oh damn, like she's just not skinny, she just has a little bit of fat. I know for a fact they would comment about her stomach. But before, it was okay to have a stomach if you had a big ass and big boobs. Isn't that crazy? See, this is why you should never put your self-love of your physical body on current social media trends, because there's nothing good is going to come out of that. Because in a year, 2 years, or even in months, it's just going to be completely different. And honestly, like, there's no need to keep up with that. As long as you love what you have been given. And this is when it comes to social media. I've actually done a social media cleanse in terms of I've gone through everyone that I follow, and if I see that they keep posting provocative pictures of them in a bikini looking skinny as hell on purpose, like promoting unhealthy eating habits, promoting unhealthy working out habits, I immediately unfollow. I'm sure they're a nice person, I'm sure they're very sweet, and I'm sure they're just a product of society, but I cannot be seeing that. I honestly had to unfollow a girl the other day. She's like a Spanish influencer. She just kept commenting like the worst like post about her like being super skinny, and the comments were like horrible, and I couldn't do it. I was like, you're really pretty and I love your surfing videos, but I can't do this. I can't be looking at this right now. So like I unfollowed her, and I honestly started following more, like if I want to follow a social media influencer, I try to prioritize social media influencers that have the same body type as me, because they be looking good as hell. And I'm like, okay, you literally have the same body type as me, I can also look good as hell like that. Does that make sense? Is that a good coping mechanism? I think it is. I think that's a good way. I'm literally like, you literally have the same body type as me, we're good to go. And then I don't compare myself too much, I guess. Because you also have to, I think in college also I've learned that everybody's insecure. Like today I was listening to a podcast. Wow, Fernanda, if you listen to this, I literally called your audios a podcast. Like that's how long they are. I was listening to my friend Fernanda's. Once a month we send podcasts. Wow. We send voice memos of like our lives and our love lives, our friendship lives, our like, because she studies in Washington, D.C. and I study in London. And we're barely Miami at the same time. So we just send audios of what's going on in our lives. And I just listened to it on a walk or something. And she was telling me about how like this girl was like judging her relationship with her boyfriend, and I was like, really? Like that just shows that this girl that's talking trash about your relationship is insecure about her own relationship with her own boyfriend. And I was like, don't let her affect you. Like I've learned that 99% of the time that a person's judging you for either a relationship or your job or what you do or how you look or how you dress, is because they're insecure about that. It's just reflecting their own insecurities. So whenever somebody, and this is exactly when my friend that I had to drop the other day, when I had to drop that old friend, when she told me, she was like, your ego needs to be brought down, or you love yourself too much. I literally, I didn't let it affect me, although I still dropped her because I was like, that's just not good things that I want to hear in my life. But also, I immediately thought, oh, so you don't love yourself. Wow, so you're insecure about yourself. Oh, so you're insecure about the way you look too. Well, not too. Like, she's insecure about it. I'm not. I'm honestly, my double chin and me, we love each other. But yeah, no, I think understanding that everybody's going through something, and the fact that they're bringing you down just says a lot about what they are going through. This is why I don't think nothing good comes out of talking bad about someone. In front of their face is a joke, or even behind their back. Nothing comes good of talking bad about someone, because you never know what they're going through. And when they're talking bad about, if they're trying to make fun of you for something, or if they're trying to bring you down, it's because they're insecure about that or about something else about themselves. And that's why I don't take it too personally, because I'm like, I'm like, wow, so you're just telling me right now that you're insecure about this, and you don't want to feel alone, so you're trying to put that insecurity on me, so I feel insecure about it. It's not a good cycle, and those are not good people that you want to have around, but it is sadly what a lot of people are going through, and this is why I'm going back again to it. I think a lot of people should go to therapy, and I know a lot of schools give free therapy. My school gives free therapy. I remember my ex, I used to tell him to go to his free therapy at his college. He never did, which shows a lot why I ended up going through a lot. And I know my friend in Segovia, I told her, she was telling me about like her problems, and I was like, well, you have free therapy, and I remember that. So it doesn't have to be expensive, and a lot of colleges and unis give free therapy, but I know sometimes it is a very privileged thing to go to therapy, which comes to my next point, which is journaling. Wow. So one of the things that I very much implemented through therapy is journaling. I used to never journal. Okay, I used to be that girl that would write one journal page, and then I would think, oh my god, wait, I have a journal like 3 months later. But I think this is something that, and I guess I'm going like to breakup advice for friendships, because I actually started writing my journal every single day when I went through my friendship breakup last year. It was I don't know, I had so many thoughts. I had something consuming me every morning. I was overthinking everything too much, and I have to let it out every morning with my morning coffee. I go on a run, I come back, I have my morning coffee, and I just journal for like, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 3 minutes, sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's half an hour, sometimes it's an hour, as long as I want, as long as my time, my schedule lets me, as long as I have things to write about. I don't have like a journaling prompt. I know a lot of people have like prompts that they go through, or like, what am I feeling today, or what do I want to do today, what do I want to accomplish today. Sometimes I do that. When I'm feeling extra that day, I do that. But most of the time, I literally grab a pen or pencil, and I'm just writing like, okay, so this is what I did, this is what I'm gonna do today, these are something that made me sad, this is why I think it made me sad, this is why I'm happy today, this is why I think I'm happy today. And then slowly but maturely, you don't really realize it, but it kind of like, it makes you think. I realize so many things while I'm writing it down. Like in the middle of writing, I'll grab my phone and be like, oh fuck, like I should have done this, and then like I do it really quickly, and then I go back to journaling. But it happens so many times. It happens so many times where I realize things about people, about situations, maybe something that I had to do while I'm journaling, and I do it every morning. And I think the misconception is that you need to do it super, like, I think the reason why people don't do it is because they try too hard in a way that there's prompts that you have to follow, or there's things that you have to write about specifically. Like, no, you can literally write out like whatever you want. Sometimes I literally write lists of things that like I did that morning that I liked. And that slowly but maturely, I realized habits that made me happy. I realized habits that made me sad. I realized things that made me sad. I realized how I stopped myself from getting sad. I realized how I processed my feelings and what helped me process my feelings. So journaling, if honestly, it's a plus to therapy, but if you don't have therapy, journaling honestly works so well. And when it comes to healthy habits that I've also learned from therapy, walks. I walk a lot, and like my friend Brent says, for an American, I walk a lot. That's literally a quote out of him. Even though I'm not officially American until like June or July. Anyways, back to the point. So basically, walking, solo walks. It has to be solo walk. I do them, like today I'm doing it for an hour. Sometimes I do it for 20 minutes. Sometimes I do it for 15. But putting on headphones, listening to podcasts, listening to music, or literally without anything, like just in silence with your own thoughts, I reflect so much about my life. I reflect so much about what I want to improve on. It's good for your health. It helps you get some type of movement in the day. I mean, I do it apart from my workout, but apart from that, it just makes me feel like I'm in touch with myself. It forces you to spend time by yourself. It forces you to process what you're feeling. It forces you to process what you are, like where you are in life. It doesn't have to, I do it daily just because I live in London and I have class at 4 p.m. And sometimes I'm literally bored I do all of my stuff by 2 p.m. And I'm like, I have 2 extra hours. What do I do with my life? Desperate Housewives and go on a walk. I'm not kidding. And it generally does help me think about life and reflect about what I want to do. And I don't know, I think it's a really good healthy habit that I've implemented. And my therapist, I remember when she first told me, like, go on walks daily, I was like, you're crazy. What do I do with my time? I'm literally like, do I awkwardly just walk into the distance? Like, what do I do? But generally one of the best habits I've implemented in my life. And I think and I'm actually like, I'm quite serious about culture shocks. Like, you don't do that in the US. In Miami, who literally goes on walks? Who goes on walks? You just drive everywhere. There's literally drive-through, so you don't have to get out of your car to get a coffee. Yes, I'm guilty of that. Yes, I do that. They're bomb. I love it. But it's true. Like, I used to go on walks in Miami because I walk dogs for a job in Miami. So I walked for hours on end, different dogs. But that was the reason why I walked, because it was my job. And I lived near the beach, so I would walk to the beach for 5 minutes and then I would walk at the beach. But that was because I was walking to like spend the day at the beach with my friends. If I didn't have the beach, why would I walk if I have the car? Like, now that I live in downtown Miami, I don't walk. I use the car. Walking, Europe has given me walking. Living back home in Europe has given me walking. Anyways, back to the point. So yeah, that's my take on therapy talk. And yeah, I think my last note on that, I'm looking at like my notes. I do want to go a whole episode about dieting and about my relationship with diets, because I used to be a really, really chubby kid freshman, sophomore year of high school, and that really got to me and my self-love and my self-confidence. And I think I've touched this upon in my self-love video. So yeah, I hope everybody had a great couple weeks. I promise I'm back to my regular schedule post. I only have 2 trips, but they're more spaced out and they're more chill. And then I have like 3 weeks in London with no trips, just chilling, just moving out of my apartment, doing my final stuff. And then I'm in Miami for a week, and then I go off to Boston to live there for like a month and a half. And then if I have a Miami citizenship by then, I'm gonna leave the country and go to Spain. But if I don't, then I'm gonna be staying in Miami for a little bit longer, by like the end of August. But hopefully by my birthday, which is August 24th, I am in Costa Brava, yeah, with Natalia. Or somewhere, because if she starts her job by then I guess I'll just go somewhere else for my birthday. But somewhere in Spain. I just want to be somewhere in Spain for my birthday. Anyways, yeah, have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Peace out.